I'm a parent. How do you expect me to fit all this stuff in? Well, there's a very good question. Right, how on earth as a parent do you fit all of these healthy practices into your life when as a parent you have so many commitments to your family and work? We are all working from home these days and probably working too much, or at least being sat in front of the computer for too long. Whether or not we're actually producing the same amount of work and whether or not we are actually working long hours is another matter. But the point here is that definitely our lives have changed, and they haven't changed for the better. So actually right now is a very, very good time for you to start considering how you're going to build these healthy practices into your life. As a parent, however, it feels like you don't have much time to do it. Well, I'm about to tell you, first of all, that you do, but it does require a few changes. And the first change is around your mindset. A lot of people, especially at this time of the year, go into building practices, routines, healthy activities in their day with a mindset of having this goal to attain by the end of it. It could be losing weight, it could be training for a marathon, it could be learning to develop a calm mind. The problem, and they're all good goals to have. The problem with it is that you reach those or you attain those goals, and then you stop whatever it is that you were doing that got you there in the first place. And also quite often with those goals comes an adverse psychological reaction where some days you feel like it's a bit of a chore to do the thing that you told yourself you were going to do. So in my opinion, you're far better off looking at all of this as a means of changing your lifestyle. Your intention, and by the way, intention is something that I drill home on my course every day. The poor guys get to hear me say this every time because it's so important. How you intend to make use of your day and how you intend to live your life is probably the most important thing. And once you've got that drilled in, or dialed in rather, the rest starts to come a lot easier, because your intention is that you want to live in a healthy way, that you want to feel happy in yourself, that you want to be helpful to others, that you want to be the best parent possible. Well, once you've got that intention, therefore, it means that whenever you feel like doing some exercise, whenever you feel like listening to a meditation track, it never feels like it's a chore, because your goal, therefore, is simply that you want this to be who you are. This is your lifestyle. My way of being is to do this stuff. This is my life. So when you've got that kind of mindset and intention, everything else starts to fall into place. Still, that doesn't help you when you think at the moment you don't have much time. So this is where, unfortunately, you need to be a little bit more disciplined and, I suppose, honest with yourself. There are probably a few activities in your day right now that take you far too long and that you get lost in. Part reason for you taking so long on them is simply because right now your psychology, your mind isn't working efficiently because you're not doing all these practices. So one correlates with the other, unfortunately. One of the things, so long as you're not a night owl, one of the things you can certainly do is wake earlier. And it may be a struggle initially, but it will help you. So, and I say so long as you're not a night owl, because I do recognize some people are naturally the sort that prefer the night hours. So in which case you just do the opposite. As a parent, if you can wake at, say, 5 o'clock in the morning, you are freeing up quite a lot of time there to start doing these practices. So that's number one. Number two, as I've mentioned, some of the stuff you're doing right now in the day is either stuff you don't need to do or it's taking you far too long. You could probably reduce the time to do it by half. So what that means is that your mindset is, okay, I'm going to allow myself 5 minutes to step away from the computer to do some push-ups. I'm going to allow myself 5 minutes meditation time, mindfulness activity. I'm going to allow myself 10 minutes for some breath work. Those short bouts of time there really aren't going to affect your work or your capability as a parent. They're just short bursts. But if you have a number of those short bursts throughout the day, over time, you will start to see a significant benefit both psychologically and physiologically. So on my course, part reason for me drilling a lot of this stuff home to people is that there's quite a few different practices that I'm guiding people through and chucking and suggesting that these are good ideas. Now, it's therefore very easy to get to the end of the course and go, yeah, that was a good one, and then forget it all in a month's time. So part of it is a case of crowbarring it into your life initially, getting used to those exercises as a part of your existence, as a lifestyle, and then eventually you no longer need to think before you do them. In other words, it just becomes a part of who you are. That for me is the right goal. So off you go then. How are you going to get through today in a slightly more efficient, flowing fashion? How are you going to get to the end of the day knowing that you've achieved some of the things that you'd set out to do, whilst also started to practice a little bit of movement, a bit of lifting, a bit of pushing, a bit of mind exercise, meditation, mindfulness, etc. Anyway, have a good day. I hope that helps. Evolution of Dave, signing off. Bye for now.